Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All he wanna say.
Hello, Ponjus and Gwenani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. I am Dr. Riel Ngunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to drop in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to gain from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on Trailblazers Mindset. Trailblazers Mindset. So in Toronto, Ontario, we have Andrea Thompson. And in Muskoka, Ontario, we have Victoria Hammer. So at this moment, I'm just going to let our speakers to introduce themselves. You can go ahead, Andrea. Unmute yourself.
See, and I know she had muted me. Hello, everyone, from wherever you are tuning in from. It's such an honor to be here to be a part of this particular podcast. My name is Andrea Thompson. I am an author, educator, and speaker, and the founder of the Princess Institute, where we train young princesses to reign as queens by teaching them etiquette and personal development. I'm really honored to be on this platform today to share with you all.
Oh, wow. It's such an honor to have you, Andrea. And really, I'm looking forward to hear more of your message. Thank you for being with us today. You can go ahead, Victoria, and please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Hammer. I am an author, massage therapist, a hypnotherapist, and a biopsychosocial wellness practitioner. I really focus on helping people understand how their body and mind are connected, how everything is intricately working together, and how you don't have to stay sick. You can be healthy, but it only happens when you really take this holistic approach. So I'm excited to talk more about balance and what a life looks like in balance, because I think it's an area of our life that we all struggle with in some way.
Wow, it's an honor to have you, Victoria. And yes, we need that. We need to balance work, life, family. We need that. And thank you for being with us. I'm looking forward to hear more of your message. Thank you. So, Andrea, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway in Toronto. What will your billboard say?
My billboard would say, uniquely you. And that is stemmed from my book, Designer's Original, because I believe each and every one of us are uniquely designed by God, uniquely gifted by God. And I would love to drive that message for each person to celebrate their uniqueness and what causes them to be so set apart than anybody else. So I would absolutely have to say, uniquely you.
Uniquely you. I love it because we are all unique. You say your book is Designers Original?
My book is entitled Designer's Original, A Woman's Guide to Understanding Her Self-Worth and Identity in God.
Yes. Wow. I love that billboard because we are all unique. We are all unique as women, as young girls. I just love the way that you've mentioned, that you empower young girls, the confidence, you
Yes.
boost their confidence, you train them. You know what? Just own it, own that stage. The moment you get in there, I'm just imagining, because I see all the crowns behind you. It means that yes, you are the queen. Wow. Thank you, Andrea.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to get more nuggets really on that uniquely you. I love it. I love it. How about you, Victoria? What will your billboard say?
If I had a billboard, I think my billboard would say something is better than nothing. It's a
Mm.
mantra I use all the time because, especially if you're an A-type personality, you're a perfectionist, you struggle with the concept that you're not doing it well enough, and that can sometimes stop you from doing anything at all. And I think when we aren't doing something up to our own expectations, it really limits us in how we're able to do something. And so if you remind yourself that something is better than nothing, it will propel you forward.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Something is better than nothing. Yes. Like your main focus is just to achieve something than just doing nothing at all. Something is better than nothing. So go out there and get started. Even if you had to, like, to take baby steps in the right direction, something is better than nothing. Wow, what a profound billboard. So I believe my billboard will be the third billboard driving down the highway. And it's going to say what? The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. And it's definitely coming. So we're going to get started. We are flying from Calgary to Toronto, where we have Andrea Thompson. Andrea Thompson is the founder of the Andrea Thompson NOC Foundation of Hope. So as a survivor of
Endometrius.
endometrial stage 4 cancer, Andrea sees the importance in sharing her story, all while helping to bring awareness. So as a patient advocate, Andrea continues to be a voice for the voiceless. Wow, wow. Andrea is also a certified image consultant, educator, TV host, author of not one, not two, but 5 published books, and the compiler of the anthology entitled Designers Original. Andrea has the heart to see women made whole emotionally, psychologically, and seeks to promote positive self and body image in women and young girls. Her message is clear. All women are uniquely beautiful queens with an eternal crown. Yes, we're fixing the crown. So, kings and queens, please join me and welcome Andrea Thompson.
Oh, thank you so much. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here on this platform. Any platform that I get on, I have to give glory and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, I would not be here. As our host so rightfully mentioned, I am the survivor of endometrial stage 4 cancer. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer, and the doctors pretty much gave me over because they thought, that would be it. I was on pain management. I was sent home, and only faith and the belief that God is able saved me, and I'm here today. And as I said, I use every platform to testify and to declare the goodness of God, that he is still a healer. And I know that he spared my life for a very, very severe and serious purpose, and that is to declare his goodness. So I just want to let anyone that is listening out there know that God still heals, he still cares, and he is so much in love with us. And that being said, I want to share with you all today on the topic of fear, moving from fear to faith. And I know that our host has mentioned a lot of the mindset and understanding. I know they use the term that fear is the false evidence appearing real. And a lot of us can attest, whether we're fear of heights, whether we're fearful of relationships, or entering into something new, or fear of the unknown, or fear of even going to a new chapter in life. There's so many things for us to be fearful of, but I want to remind us today that we can move from fear to faith, because faith is a substance of things that is hoped for. It's the evidence of something that is not seen. And when we have faith, we believe in something that is greater and that is higher than ourselves. Humanly speaking, we are limited by what we can achieve and what we can do in our own strength. But there's a good book that reminds us that we can do all things through him who is our strength. And so I've just come to remind us today that no matter where you are in this thing we call life, I want to encourage you not to look at the things that you see just around you, because there's deeper things to look at. I want you to look within, because everything that you have need of, it's already given to you within you. You know, the scripture also reminds us that the Lord has given us gifts. He's given us talents. He's given us abilities. And sometimes it takes a great doctor, a great coach, or somebody just to come along and just to remind us of the greatness that we have inside of us. And once that confidence is built, we can move from fear into faith. We can move into a position of owning who we are. And this is why I push the message so very, very much, to let our young ladies know you don't have to compete with anyone else. Because when you were created, there was a mold that was there that has been broken, and no one else can be exactly like you. You are a designer's original. Your handprint, your voice, every single thing about you is so unique that there's none that can duplicate. Many people can try to copy, but they can never duplicate who you are. So when we talk about not fearing, we talk about understanding that when we leave this earth, I always say there is that dash that you have in the middle, that before and after. We need to maximize that dash. Maximize the gifts, the potentials, all that you have inside of you, and use it for the glory of God. Don't walk in fear, because knowing that even if we mess up one day, we can brush ourselves off and start again, and realizing that we're not doing this in our own strength, but we're doing it in the strength of the Lord. So I'm just encouraging everyone that is out there today to remember who you are. Be reminded of the greatness that is inside of you. And I know our dear sister here of this particular platform that she has, where she talks about mindsets, she talks about empowering, she talks about trailblazers. She's interviewed so many great leaders that have come on here, and each and every one of them would share the same message. And that is to know that there's greatness in every single one of us. And so it's our desire, it's my desire for you to tap into that. And there's no greater way to do that than coming into the understanding of who God is, number one, and who you are. There's many books and of many authors that have written books on leadership, books on cultivating your self-esteem and building up your courage and being able to, own in on who you are as a person. I just want you to know we don't have to live in fear. We don't have to live in fear of the unknown. Every single day that we're gifted with, every single day that we wake up, I want to remind you that is a new day to start and a new day to be pushed forward into the greatness of what you're called to do. So that when we do leave this earth, we can say, you know what, we've contributed to society. We have done our part. And the good thing to realize too is that we're not just, here just to pass time. But there's a certain purpose that you were created for, a certain gift that you were created for. So don't fear. Don't walk in doubt. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in the gifts and the abilities that have been placed inside of you. And know without a shadow of a doubt that that we're standing on the shoulders of greatness. We are in Black History Month as well. I don't know when you're going to be doing this particular podcast, but we are in Black History Month. So we are standing on the shoulders of greatness as Black women, as Black men. And I want you to be reminded of that. We've come from greatness, and greatness resides in you. So continue to be encouraged, continue to walk in faith, because remember, faith is the substance of things that is hoped for, the evidence of things that we may not see it, but we believe by faith that it is there. We believe by faith we're going to achieve and we're going to attain all that God has for us in this season and in the years to come. Thank you again for having me. And I do pray blessing on this podcast.
Wow. It's just drop the mic moment right now, Andrea. You've mentioned my all-time favorite Bible verse. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for. And faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. For by it we obtain a testimony. By faith we understand that the world were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are not seen So that the things which are
Thank you.
seen
I
are not made of things
see.
which are visible.
Right.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Andrea. You mentioned that we should walk by faith because
Yes.
fear is false evidence that appears to be
Here's
real.
real.
That's the meaning
Yes.
of fear. But we'll have to move from fear to faith. So how can you move from fear to faith? By trusting God.
That's
Wow,
it.
what a profound,
That's it.
much needed message. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Andrea, for sharing such a profound, much needed message.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're still around Ontario. We are going to Muskoka where we have Victoria Hammer. Victoria Hammer is a psychosocial wellness practitioner and an author of The Middle Path, Finding Balance, Health, and Happiness in a World of Extremes. She focuses on connecting people's mental, physical, and emotional health with practical and actionable tips as well as science-based education. She is educated in hypnotherapy, trauma work, massage therapy, exercise science, and hold on, this was my first time seeing this word, photobiome. Can you say it? Can you say it, Victoria?
Photobiomodulation.
Okay,
It
that
is
word.
the science of light and healing.
See? Okay, and more. So her practice is both in person and virtual, where she's helping people in her own area of Muskoka, Ontario, as well as North America wide. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Victoria Herman.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk today amongst such lovely, amazing people. And I think that when we are talking about fear and faith, it's interesting because in my mind, it also goes along the science and the theme of balance. Because in life, everything is really a pendulum. We're always swinging from one side to the other, and that's what can make our life feel so chaotic. So when it comes to finding balance in our life, it's not just a one size fits all. Balance for me looks different than balance for you. And a lot of us, we get stuck in these cycles of we're either all work or no play, or we're trying to burn the candle at both ends. And we just want to have it all. And we forget that this life is really a spectrum. These ideas are a spectrum, and we don't have to sit at either end of the side of this pendulum. We can choose the middle path. So I know myself and the way I was raised, I was always drawn to a lot of extremes in my life. I was always striving to get perfect at things, exceed. There was no expectation below a certain mark. And if I did do that, it was not acceptable. And I did that for many years in many areas of my life. I was always on this one side of balance that was so extreme, but I didn't see it. And the minute that I finally saw it and I was able to see how hanging out at that end of the extremes really was negatively affecting my health, my relationships, my life, my sanity, everything. And so now I'm here and I want to explain how finding balance in your life doesn't have to be challenging. It doesn't have to be complex. And it really can be simple in the sense of little steps take you far. That's why I like to say something is better than nothing, because we think that if we're in this area of extreme, and I'll use really simple examples I think we've all experienced one time in our life, and it could be trying to lose weight or eat healthier. I have people who come to me and they say, Victoria, I want to get healthier. I want to start working out 3 times a week. I'm like, okay, great. How many days are you working out now? And they say none. And I'm like, okay, well, then that's not realistic. You can't go from nothing to 3 days a week regularly. That's a lot. It's a lot of time, energy, effort, a lot of commitment. And realistically, what happens for many people, not all people, but many people, they'll do 3 days a week for a couple weeks, and then something will come up and they get caught up and they can't do their 3 days. And maybe they do 1 day or 2 days. And then all of a sudden the guilt sets in and the shame of not leading up to our own expectations. And we're not living up to that expectation we set of ourselves of 3 days a week. And that shame and guilt that we hold is what actually stops us from continuing. We start to give up We start to feel like it's unattainable. We can't do it. And we end up, instead of that shame propelling us forward, it makes us stuck. And so really finding balance is about taking one little step and making it sustainable in your life. So when people are looking for, in this example, I say, well, let's pick one day a week. And when you are consistent and committed to being able to do one day a week, then commit to another day. And if you happen to do 3 days a week right off the bat, fabulous. But your goal was once. So when you did it once, you've already reached your goal. There's no extra credit when it comes to making changes in our life like that, because that's where we can get caught up and getting pulled out of balance. When I work with a lot of people who are high-powered executives and A-type personalities, the question I always get is kind of, how do I make balance in my life perfectly? They want to do balance perfectly. And it's the irony of that is that's not what balance is. There is no perfect in balance. It's about constantly riding the wave of what's happening that day, that week, that time in our life, and finding where that middle ground is for us. And there's going to be steps forward and back within that middle ground. It's not a stationary place. The middle path is wide. There's lots of space for us to meander on this middle path. It doesn't have to be narrow and difficult. And so finding that for yourself, that middle path of where you are, that kind of Goldilocks zone, right? Not too hard, not too soft, not too long, not too short, right in the middle. That's what we're looking for. And in my line of work and where I really see it, this is really a form of harm reduction in our life. Harm reduction is a term that is often used in substance use addictions, things like that. But I really feel that almost every holistic wellness goals, supplements, exercise, whatever it might be, are all forms of harm addiction. Harm reduction. Harm reduction is really about reducing the behaviors, the emotions, the actions in our life that are harmful and unhealthy to us. And so let's say you're trying to get healthier and you eat 5 chocolate bars a day and you're ashamed of that. Well, when you eat 4 a day, that is a win. You are doing better. That is not as harmful as 5. And sure, it might not be the goal you want in the future, but it is something that you can commit to today and stick to today without feeling shame and guilt that you're not living up to these sometimes unrealistic expectations that we have. So when it comes to finding balance, we have to think about balance in our life in work, balance in our life in our physical health, nutrition, in our relationships. And relationships are big. Are we constantly isolating, or are we always with people? Community is amazing and it's fabulous and it's important, but you can use a community as an escape to be with yourself and to find relationship with yourself. So at the end of the day, anything can be bad when it's in too much. Finding balance is really about something being better than nothing, but too much can be too bad. Too much exercise can be just as unhealthy as not enough exercise. Too much food is just as unhealthy as not enough food. And this is why we really have to work every day for simple ways to follow that middle path. And it's not about perfection. So for those of you who are like, great, I'm going to become the best at being balanced, it's a journey. It is going to take some time. So be patient with yourself and find little ways that you can be more balanced every day in life. Oh, you're still muted.
I think you're
Yes,
muted.
I saw that. Am I audible enough now? Wow. Yeah, like Victoria, this is the most difficult challenge that we all face, more especially for entrepreneurs. We have had time to balance life, work, family. We are, oh, like you've mentioned that, yes, community is so important to all of us, but sometimes you have to disconnect from the world and just find yourself, just reconnect with yourself. That's what you've described as balance, and how also work on yourself will make you a better person at work, at home, like anywhere that you go, because you've maintained that work-life balance. And you've also shared like if you are maybe struggling, I have a terrible sweet tooth, by the way. If you're struggling with the terrible sweet tooth, but just cutting off that maybe one bar of chocolate for a day, it's a win, because you are a work in progress. Don't try to be a perfect somebody in an imperfect world. Just work on yourself. Take those baby steps in the right direction. Go confident in the direction of your dreams by maintaining that work-life balance. Thank you so much, Victoria, for sharing such a profound, much needed message around work-life balance. Thank you. Let's just check our audience online right now. And happy Valentine's Day, by the way. I can see everyone saying happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, queens, and maybe kings online. I don't know, but we're all queens today, which is a good thing. I can see Annalise Sinesipo, she's saying happy Valentine's Day. Yenny, my friend, she's saying happy Valentine's Day. Benoit is also giving us the love blue hearts and also saying happy Valentine's Day. Mariah is saying designers original. And I can see Haley Joy, she's saying good morning queens. We're saying good morning to you too. And Princess Sebe is saying that finding balance, that's all we need, just finding that balance. And I see Kennedy Gates over there, the king of financial literacy. He's saying greetings, great ladies. Wow, I believe that our audience really, they've been inspired, they've been motivated from all of your amazing messages. So it's not gonna, let me just stop the timer here. It's not gonna be a show without me showing up and showing off. So I'm gonna be the next and final speaker. But before I speak, let me see if I can grab my bio here, and then I will come back and speak. So please do enjoy. I'll come back and speak. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. Really, my goal as a mentor or as a coach, it's so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to pursue success and drive sustainable. I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights.
Dr. Nampumalelo Rial Kunene is an international human rights policy analyst who consults on policies and procedures related to human rights compliance. She is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Lace Brown international speaker. This passionate leader holds a PhD with a discipline in leadership and business. Dr. Rial N. Kunene is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. She is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes. In a seriously funny way, Dr. Kunene is an award-winning author, 10 times #1 Amazon and international best-selling author. Her #1 best-selling book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. As a trainer, diplomacy protocol officer, and strategist, Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. She is also a true advocate for creating new policies that uphold human rights and prevent human rights violations. Dr. Kunene's purpose is to teach everyone about human rights and help organizations understand and promote human rights. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. This change maker, trailblazer, and revolutionary is pushing boundaries and creating a real change worldwide. Like a phoenix that never accepted defeat and rose from its own ashes, she wants to challenge you to unleash your greatness and rise to greater heights. Dr. Rial N. Kunene wears many hats. As a professional certified sales manager, CEO, certified travel counselor, publisher, medical esthetician, philanthropist, and a commissioner for oaths, following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalms 27 and 40 keeps her to rise to greater heights. The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Dr. Rial N. Kunene.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, ladies. You know, following after you, I'm like, really, these ladies have just set the bar high for me. You've shared every nugget that anyone out there will really need those nuggets to have that trailblazers mindset. You hold on, like Andrea mentioned that, you'll have to release those fears in your life, release those fears and have faith in you. You have faith by trusting in God. And then Victoria on the other side, she was like, you'll have to maintain that work-life balance and how working on yourself will make you a better person at work, at home, to those around you by maintaining that work-life balance. So I'm gonna share on the mindset of a trailblazer on why you really need an increased level of emotional intelligence to be able to have that trailblazers mindset, because trailblazers really, they are extraordinary people who go where no one has gone before. These are individuals who inspire followers with their boldness, originality, and thirst of knowledge, and who establish new standards in their lives. They put in the work, a lot of work actually, to make the world a better place, and then they show others the way. So if we want to go far in life as ladies, as queens, we must possess a trailblazers mindset. We need to be always innovative. We should be adventurous and driven to create new paths and ideas, because trailblazers often possess a strong sense of curiosity, a willingness to take risks, and a desire to challenge the status quo. We must have the personal qualities of strength, courage, and resilience that will cause us, to be relentless in our pursuits. I know it's Friday. My tongue is getting tongue-tied sometimes, but as trailblazers, really, as a trailblazer, you must have that level of increased emotional intelligence. Yes, increase your level of emotional intelligence. So if you aspire to be in a leadership role, there is an emotional element that you need to consider. So emotional intelligence has to do with one's ability to both recognize and control their own emotions. So those possessing a high level of emotional intelligence, they have a connection with who they are, their own emotions, as well as the ability to recognize, relate to, as well as influence the emotions of others. People who excel in their own emotional intelligence can be easy to recognize, since they know what they're feeling and how these emotions actually can affect other people around them. Kings and queens, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life to get to the top, but you need to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great in life. So get started today by increasing that level of emotional intelligence in your life. If you wanna be the trailblazer in your community, you'll have to get started. Don't wait until you become great in life. So if you're that entrepreneur really who dream of reshaping the world through your business and envision like several extra commas in your bank account, yet you find yourself blocked in your journey to success, trust me, I am the answer. Oh, hi, by the way, I'm Dr. Riel Nkunene, and I'm not for the timid, but I am the rocket fuel that your business needs to blast past barriers and rise to greater heights. So as your business strategist and optimizer, what I do, I empower motivated professionals to discover their full potential and shift them into growth overdrive. From owning 2 diverse companies to having experience as a CEO and guiding Fortune 500 companies to helping multi-million-dollar enterprises, I believe that I have this distinctive talent for empowering high-achieving coaches, elite startups, business leaders to become dominant forces in their industries, because I believe that the sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. So be the one in charge of your own driver's seat, kings and queens. Be the one in charge of your own driver's seat, because you are the one driving here. You are the one in charge of your destiny. You are the one in charge of your life, because I believe that the most effective leaders are all alike in one crucial way. They are aware of their strengths and weaknesses, and they always strive for continuous improvement. Most people make mistakes around emotional intelligence. Why? I'm glad you've asked that, because they don't acknowledge their own flaws. They don't even learn from their own mistakes. Perhaps they are unable to delegate or at least understand what's going on with other people. So it's a wake-up call, kings and queens, to increase that level of emotional intelligence. It's a wake-up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up? Get going and increase your level of emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence is an important characteristic for anyone at any level in any organization. And it is widely known to be a key component of effective leadership. So as an entrepreneur myself, I have experienced many emotions and become very aware of the sensitivity towards others' emotions. Like my everyday book, it says that a fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. So for leaders, having emotional intelligence is essential to understand other people, what motivates them, and how to work cooperatively with them. So increase your level of emotional intelligence. But one thing we'll have to understand is that we can't give from an empty cup. Yes, you can never ever give from an empty cup. It's high time you fill up your cup first, and then from the overflow, you're going to be able to share with the world, because you can't give from an empty cup. It's high time, kings and queens. So being self-aware when you are in a leadership role, it means that you understand how you feel and what your strengths and limits are. At the same time, behaving with humility. So in relationship management, empathy is what allows you to put yourself in other people's shoes and being able to recognize the feelings and viewpoints of others without judgment. So emotional intelligence is a trait that can be developed to determine business success. Fortunately, emotional intelligence can always be improved. It can always be improved to build a collaborative performance culture in the workplace. So I believe that as entrepreneurs, really, we are all trailblazers out there. Trailblazers who typically blazes a trail that others can always follow through unsettled and unknown territory. We know the value of empowering others. We surround ourselves with talented, diverse teams and foster collaboration to achieve groundbreaking results. As flight attendants always say that you have to put on your oxygen mask first, because if you don't put on your oxygen mask first before you assist the person who's sitting next to you, definitely when that flight goes down, you will definitely go down because you forgot to put on your oxygen mask first. Put on that oxygen mask first to yourself by increasing your level of emotional intelligence. The reality is your journey to be a better person, it doesn't start with your children. It doesn't start with your spouse. It doesn't start with your neighbor, with your clients, but your journey to be a better person, it starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. So don't ever, ever give up on your heart's desires. Just recall this, just in case you can't find your way out there, that you can have the drive within you to become what you really want in life. You know, I am a firm believer of affirmations. We're going to affirm this together. We're going to affirm this together as if we're taking an oath. We're going to affirm this together by placing our left hand on our chest, and then we're going to raise our right hand. If you can just please do this with me. If you are watching and listening under my voice, place your left hand on your chest and raise your right hand. And we're going to affirm this together by saying that I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. Can you say it one more time as if you have faith in your own powerful voice? And guess what? It will echo throughout the whole universe. Say, I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. You know what? Just give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause because, yes, you can have the drive within you to become what you really want to be. You can have the drive within you to get where you want to be in the next 3 months, 6 months, because the drive is just inside of you. It's not from the outside of you. You know, it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, when they try to say my name, they always butcher my name, but Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. So even me ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve? Maybe let me say in the next 6 months. I know myself, I'm one of those. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So as a coach or as a mentor, like many of us here, my goal is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify your limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired actions to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I've had enough. All these amazing speakers have shared more nuggets on how I can actually acquire the Trailblazers mindset. It's high time I go out there and be the change and make a difference. But in order for you to go out there and be the change and make a difference, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like a hungry lion in the jungle. Really, that hungry lion in the jungle, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes this way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. Yes, it's lunch. And it's so funny though, because even with elephants, what they do when they see a lion is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what? I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that we all need that lion mindset that will tell us that, you know what? You are the king of the jungle. No one will tell you that you are the king of the jungle, but it's a mindset thing. Because I believe that we all rise together, and we rise by lifting each other up. We don't rise by tearing anyone down or maybe stepping over another person to get to the top, but we rise by lifting each other up. You know, it's so funny. When I was in the 8th grade, I'm gonna cut the story short here. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. And it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching and listening under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes, since the phoenix bird has to die, burn, and experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down. Write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. And I know you've heard this before, that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. So if I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your own future. But here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that with God, we're all destined for greatness. We're all destined for greatness as long as we follow God's strategy. This is when the growth commences, because following your gifts and following God's idea, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe continued saying that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the goals, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me, listening to all these amazing messages, it stirred something within me. And that was when I decided to follow my dreams, which gave me a purpose to see my goals through and understand that I do have everything I need to reach my full potential. So this year, I'm also determined to rise to greater heights with as many motivated individuals, maybe who are ready to start, grow, and scale their businesses within 90 days. Perhaps you're that individual who maybe started writing your book and then you were like, you know what? I don't have time for this. I'll do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow never ever came. So I'm here to encourage you. I offer a free, no obligation, 30 minutes friendly Zoom consultation call, which will kind of allow me to find out more about the issues that you're experiencing, and also to see if you're a perfect fit for any of my programs. So if you're interested in becoming a public speaker, an author, coach, or maybe that entrepreneur who just want to multiply your income by doing what you truly love, what you're passionate about, and making a real impact out there, I just want to empower you to become a highly effective and an inspiring leader with a personalized, measurable, but a scalable program. So go on my website at www.risetogreaterheights.com and book that free consultation call with me, because my ultimate goal is that you feel extremely confident about your purpose. So we will take it one step at a time, and you are definitely going to transform. If you give me your why, I will show you the how. How cool is that? So this consultation, it offers accountability, education, growth, as well as success. Because growing up, I didn't have much in life, because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. And I thank God that I missed that flight, because I'm still here. I'm still sharing my message. I'm still impacting as many lives as much as I can, because I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel Ngunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, amazing speaker. So at this moment, please feel free to share your final thoughts, as well as share with the audience how they can reach out to you, how they can work with you. If you happen to have any freebie that you just want to offer to the audience, please feel free to share with the audience. So Andrea, the stage is yours, Queen.
My goodness, that was a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my goodness, the Lord continue to bless you. I can be reached on all social media platforms, Andrea Thompson, and I do offer Midget Consultant Etiquette. I am an instructor, and anyone that is interested in upping their game in etiquette, personal development, they can contact me at the above. Should be the link somewhere. That would be posted. I also do etiquette training with our little young princess at the Princess Institute. Classes will be started in March. So please contact me for more information on how you can enroll your little princess into this fun and interactive etiquette training to help develop our little princesses. Again, thank you so much for having me on this particular podcast. And I do pray that each and every one of you will continue to walk in faith and not by sight. Bless you.
Let us continue to work in faith and not by sight. Thank you so much, Andrea. I believe that our audience, really, they will definitely reach out to you. If you are that individual who just need that training on etiquette, on protocol, Andrea, I believe she is your go-to. Go out there and reach out to Andrea. Thank you so much, Andrea. You can go ahead, Victoria, and please share with the audience.
Thank you. I think you gave us a lot to think about, both of you. It's been a really fabulous morning here in Ontario, and I'm excited. Thank you so much for this opportunity. If anything, I would like to encourage you guys, if you think balance is an area of your life that you would like some guidance, some help, you can check out my book. It's The Middle Path, Finding Balance, Health, and Happiness in a World of Extremes. It's on Amazon and Kindle. You can also go to my website, www.victoriahama.com, or find me on social media at VIKKAH. And if you have any questions, you want to reach out, I have a great blog that I like to post lots of resources, different articles, and discussing different topics, including things from science, manual therapy, chronic pain, but also that emotional wellness piece. So if any of that speaks to you, or you just want to reach out and say hi, feel free to do so through social media or my website. Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a lovely time getting to know both of you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Victoria. And yes, kings and queens, go out there. If you just want to find balance in your life, reach out to Victoria. She's going to hold you accountable for your own actions. She's going to walk you side by side with you until you achieve those goals. Go out there. If you're interested in Andrea's book, Victoria's book, Andrea's books, I'll have to be very specific, and Victoria's book, go out there and reach out to these amazing speakers. You will never regret this moment. So thank you so much to our amazing speakers. Really, your time here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, we don't take it for granted, because I know we are all busy people, but for you to spare that 90 minutes to be with us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, we really don't take it for granted. We are so humbled. We are so honored. We appreciate both of you. We just want to say thank you. Thank you. And to our audience online, thank you so much for joining us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can always turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope from all these amazing messages, from all these amazing speakers, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Sia bonga.
Bless you.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody set the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest. And shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as